So in this one-stop shop, I'm preparing for some sail making tomorrow, and I made this pattern for the curvature on the mainstay, and it turned out to be a little bit too much. So I'm standing here thinking that I will take this little piece of wood and then just hot glue this like this to about take 1/3 of the curve out of the sail, and then I'm gonna have to test sail again when the weather permits. I think you can hear I'm a little I have a head cold, and I've been sick for about a week, so if you haven't seen any videos, you know why. So I'm gonna go ahead and glue this. This is the wing shape I'm using to glue the sail panels together. And I have been experimenting with different amounts of curve, and this is this is a flatter one that with much less curvature to the sail, so we'll see how that works. So I was lazy. I just took a little bit of hot glue and made a few dabs of glue here while it was in this position, and so it feels, once that hot glue is set or cooled down, it should be fine. And then I will just clean up the bench here, because this is the bench I use for everything from sanding lead to laminating, and so I don't have much space. But tomorrow we will make some sails. So until tomorrow, and then tomorrow I will hopefully say it's the next day. I always wanted to say that. So if I remember to say that tomorrow, I will say that tomorrow. So it's the next day, and I still have a bit of a head cold. You can see the orange one is the one that I used for the sails that I sailed on in Oxlösund. I was pretty happy with it. A and B is just me to have some sort of reference if I want to move the shape forward. You can do that by altering the curvature of the sail in the front, or you can move it here too if you have the same curvature. And as you saw yesterday, I did modify my leech curve board pattern, whatever, and excuse me, I will edit that out. So today I plan to make a couple of sails. I'm gonna start by using some old material that I used for the Australia 2 that I scrapped. I'm printing a new one. I'm gonna build Australia 2 in scale 1 to 10. I love that boat. I think it's really cool. First wing keel 12, so I'm gonna rebuild it in scale 1 to 10. My plan is to do this material, the green, not so much shape, probably B, and then with the new curvature pattern here, so we have less curve on the front edge of the sail. So that's what I'm gonna start with, and then probably gonna do one set of sails on the orange board, but using the same material as the material I sailed down in Oxley. I might also attempt to recut one of the old sails and see if I can save them. So bear with me and hang on. And I want to add, this is not a guide on how to make model boat sails. This is a guide how I do it. So I'm sure there's plenty of other better ways of doing this, but this is how I do it, and I'm learning as I go along, so bear with me, and we'll get on with it. So as you can see, the main difference between this newer sail and is that I had a curve here on this bottom sail, and what that does, and I'm still learning this, if I try to pull this straight, I get a lot of curve up front here. So I might try to just recut this, but not today. I'll keep it as a reference. This is the sail I used when I raced, and this is the newer sail that I like better, that is made on the orange mold or wing. This sail is a little bit too big. It needs to be cut somewhere around here. So that is something I'm going to do. I'm going to take a little bit off the back end of it. But I like this curve. So we'll use that. So now we have determined the pretty much the outside. Oh, no, we haven't, because I have cleaned this. So I'll go ahead and do. And this is better that it is 2-3 millimeters too big, or 80 thousandths too big, rather than it being too small. Tape I'm using today is fairly wide, so I'm gonna have to have, and this is gonna be a heavy air jib. So we'll take this. not feeling great, but I'm tired of being sick, so I want to get some stuff done. So, okay, so now I'll match up that mark. And remember, this is one way of doing it. I do not consider myself a model sailmaker, and hopefully they will not be mad at me if this is how they do it. They can just keep quiet, and we don't know. We don't have any model sailmakers in Sweden, so, and the dollar is expensive. Otherwise, there is a really good guy out in Washington State that I used to buy sails from that I really like. So the next thing I'm gonna do is, this is where the sail, the top of the sail will be. So I will position this where I want the center of my shape, and the sail goes out to here, so maybe here. It's pretty much in the middle. So I'll do these lines to guide me when it comes time to glue this together, and then I'll do a little plus right in between the two, so you can see, you have some references when you go to glue together. The cool thing about doing it this way is that it really makes no difference if these are not 100% straight, because the way you glue it together still fixes that. Still fix it. It does take care of that. So now we can remove it. So we'll put some more double-sided tape. Take the next panel, and you can see that it's fairly easy to line it up when you have made these. And this is so that it doesn't, you know, when you go to cut the sail out, that you still have some material there. once you're committed, just go for it. Okay, so it's gonna be what it is. Inside, and then just a single stitch, and this sail is just single stitch. I might do, since this is going to be a heavy air sail, I might do a zigzag. And yes, if you touch lead, wash your hands, don't lick your fingers. Don't remove them until you're done. Yeah, this is the one. I'm wondering if I sailed with the right sail when I need to start. I make so many sails. I need to make sure that I know which one I'm using. Okay, so we have, make a mark here. Don't move it. Here. On these mini rivals, I have figured out that it's not having the maximum size sail. It's more to do with if you can yeah, I got it right. When you're a closed hold, that you actually have the perfect shape of the sail. So I might use my skinnier batten for that. My brother helped me make these. These are homemade battens, and they're, as you can see, they're made for my 12 meters, so they are a little bit on the long side for this boat. And I'm cutting on the inside. I feel very unprofessional doing this, but I'm doing the best I can. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a mark, and I might end up cutting this sail down just a hair, because this is supposed to be a heavy air sail. So I'm not worried about the last quarter inch of size. So this I'm gonna cut freehand, following the line. And you can do this with a pair of scissors, or I use this I love this. It's made in Japan. I'm not sponsored, but I really love this thing. I got 3 of them, and these blades that are black, they're extra sharp, so it'll do a good job on your fingers if you're not careful. But this we can keep for now, because we can use. I want to use this to make the reinforcements. Man, I'm slower than normal with my cold. It was not brand new sailcloth when I started, but I hope this will turn out to be a nice strong wind sail. And since I couldn't use it for my 12 meters anymore, I figured I might as well do something useful with it. Really the worst part, what I don't like doing, is what we're going to do right now. We're going to put some wire, and this will be our forestay. And I have that's 0.6 and that's 0.7. So I'm gonna, for this little boat, I'm gonna use this smaller size. Yeah, what am I doing? Ooh, I don't want to do that. I'm gonna edit this. Okay, it should be plenty. So you don't want to make any kinks in this, but you know that. So I'm gonna leave plenty down here. And now I said a cuss word too. So I am catching the wire with my tape. And start folding it over. And the idea is, because the wire is sort of trapped in under the tape, it doesn't move around when you flip it over like this. I don't know if it's a trade secret or not, but and if someone has better ideas of how to do this, I'll be all ears. So now we have wire. We have some decent amount of wire in each end. Like so. And we have a sail that I think will actually look halfway decent. So now I'll take my pattern sail, and this pattern, you can make this a lot better than what I do. So here I only want a little bit. So I usually change the angle of the material to make it look like I've been thinking, to make it seem like I know what I'm doing. And if you get a little bit of this marker, you can always remove that with your so that's gonna go like that, and then I'm gonna do a little bit smaller one. That'd be perfect. So I'll just something like that. So this is way overdoing it. We're doing this for the looks, not for I think maybe for my 12 meters I would actually do it because the forces on the 12 meters are actually so. I have a 380 winch from RNJ, and it stalls, so I'm gonna have to figure something out. I'm gonna have to have 2 winches or find a stronger winch. So there we have it. Then you can either burn a hole here, or I will put little eyelets in there. I don't think they're stainless steel, but I make new sails so often I haven't had one rusting on me. So if you want me to show you that, I can show you that. But and then I have a hook system where I put one of those Picabee hooks, so it makes it so much faster to change sails. And I will put some battens in here. I have some 3D printed battens I will put in here. So I hope everyone will have a nice New Year's Eve. And my SD card, micro SD card, is almost full. So I will. I hope you thought this was a little cool. And until the next time, have a Happy New Year. Thank you. Bye. My next project, Australia 2 in scale 1 to 10. That keel is just saved because it was so much work. I could not pitch it, and plus it's full of lead. So, but Australia 2 scale 1 to 10 in the printer.